The holidays are supposed to be fun. Time spent with family and friends, lots of good food, plenty of gifts, but it's all that good living that can actually be bad for your health. Cardiologist Emil Thattassery with Kaiser Permanenente is joining us this morning with a look at why the holidays can lead to cardiac health problems. Good morning.
Good morning.
Too much fun, huh?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a wonderful time of year, but I think you're right. I think mainly things like diet, so this time of year, high sodium diets that can lead to kind of swelling in your legs and actually blood pressure issues, sugar, where the diabetes is an issue.
Even for just because it may be a week or two of completely overindulging, even that limited time frame, if you've been doing okay otherwise, that can add up.
It certainly can. I mean, so absolutely. I mean, so, just a lot of salt all at once. Again, we see routinely in the hospital people come in, blood pressure, but also kind of fluid overload, so congestive heart failure. So there are things that can happen. That being said, moderation is the key. So whatever it is, with that, even things like alcohol. So we have New Year's coming up, and people drinking alcohol. Alcohol in excess can cause things. There's actually a term called the holiday heart syndrome, where it can lead to irregular heart rhythms called atrial fibrillation. So all of the things we do in diet and alcohol, people aren't exercising because it's cold outside, can lead to trouble.
And moderation is so hard to do for some people, for a lot of people probably.
Of course, but as much as you can, again, all of that, this time of year is, New Year's is coming around the corner, the perfect time to get your New Year's resolutions down, to adhere your diet, keep your weight at a good weight, exercise again, get to the gym and treadmills.
Right. Okay, what about just being around family and friends? I mean, the stress of that, because a lot of people here were saying, I had so much fun over the holidays, but I'm kind of glad it's over because there's so much that goes into it. It's a little bit stressful.
It can be tremendously stressful if you actually are hosting and you're cooking all day and cleaning up and sometimes the family interactions. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of stress there. In addition, medically, I mean, when a lot of people get together with cold weather infections, right? So at the Kaiser South Baltimore Urgent Care, we're seeing a huge uptick, a rise in flu activity. So now is the perfect time, if you haven't, at the peak of the flu season, to get your flu shot. In fact, there's actually a brand new recommendation for a pneumonia shot called the Prevnar, a booster shot for anyone over 65. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can talk to your doctor about that too.
Now that's for everybody. Everybody needs to have their flu shot because everybody's susceptible to that. But what we were talking about earlier, moderation with the salts and the sugars and all that kind of things for people with diabetes or people maybe already diagnosed with heart issues. Is it only them that need to watch it, or if a perfectly healthy person is maybe going a little crazy over the holidays, are they at risk for heart problems?
Well, I would say that sometimes perfectly healthy is it depends on your perspective.
Right.
So sometimes you're very close to the blood pressure issues. I will say if a healthy person in moderation that's exercising at a good body weight usually can get away without problems. But again, even alcohol, as I said, can trigger things. So yes. You have to be careful for everyone, but more importantly, people for heart conditions and older people as well.
All right, so you already mentioned some, but let's go. Let's look ahead. Everybody's making the New Year's resolutions. What are the top 3, 4, 5 things that we need to resolve to do to protect our health, no matter who you are?
Of course, this is great. So first and foremost, diet. There's no substitute for a healthy diet. And talked about fruits, vegetables, all of that, white meats if you can, kind of the healthy.
Carbs, what about carbs? Because a lot of people say I'm getting rid of carbs, but is that the way to go?
It's increasingly true that a high carb diet, actually quantities is the main thing, so eating too much can lead to sugars, diabetes, fat, being overweight.
Around the middle, that's what it's going to lead to.
And it's a huge epidemic now, so absolutely. So carbs is a big thing, sugars, but all of it. Then exercise, getting to the gym. There's no substitute for exercising. 30 minutes most days of the week, I think, is what we recommend. And then, over this country, the weight, as you said, keeping your body weight, reducing it, watching what you're eating. Absolutely. Those 3 things, as well as if you're smoking, quit smoking.
Oh, that's a big one.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we hope everybody can get off to a good new year. Thank you so much for the tips. That's very helpful. Moderation. You got any tips on how to do moderation? If you could tell us all how to do that, the willpower to do that. Oh, man. All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Of course.
All right. Well, coming up new in our 8 o'clock hour, where there are dozens of new Ebola cases.